Hi, so first step on creating this Marilyn Monroe look, we are going to go straight to the brows. Her brows were absolutely amazing, and she believed that her brows, with the nice arch in it, made her forehead appear smaller. So let's go ahead and start with the brows. One thing to be careful of is make sure that you don't make it too pointy here. You definitely want it to be more of like a flowing angle instead of an extremely high point. So now I'm just going to fill in. Okay, so step two, I've already did my eye primer, so we are going to go into the Marilyn Monroe eye. And the first thing that they always did with her eyes is she believed in using the white all the way down to the bottom and all the way up to her brow, and she also applied it into the corners and underneath to really brighten up her eye with all of the white. So let's go ahead and start that. Okay, next for the eye, I'm going to use some bronzer because it's going to be a very light brown that we're going to be able to go in with, and she just did a little bit of a brown right through here, which was able to give her a little bit more of that definition in her eye. So let's go ahead and create that. And make sure when you're doing this that you're kind of looking for on, because if you have your eyes closed or if you're looking too much up like this, you might not get it in the right exact spot. And make sure you blend it too, because you want it to be noticeable, but you also don't want it to stand out. And I'm just blending it down where my crease would be naturally. Okay, so we're going to go in with a little bit of darkness right in here into the crease area, just to give it a little hint of definition. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, and we're going to keep that area right there. So when you're going to blend, you want to make sure that you're blending just in that one area. So trick with white liner, get ready to see it. But also here on the edge, you want to, I'm just going to tuck just slightly, form your line up and your line down. So you are creating this magical triangle on the side to help you wing your liner. This is an awesome trick that they used to use on Miss Marilyn Monroe. So don't forget your white liner, it's very important. But they also used a combination of black and brown liners. Instead of most women, you only use one color or the other, but they did a combination mix. So get ready to see what it looks like. Ready for another tip, creating the lovely Miss Marilyn? Red liner. So even though they would line her waterline with white, they would always take a red liner and put it right in the corners, allowing her eye to look brighter and wider. You're welcome. Get those red liners, ladies. Okay, straight to face. What she used to do with her face for primer, instead of using primer, they used to use Vaseline. I have never heard of this before, and to be quite honest, I'm actually really scary about trying Vaseline since this look is going to be my date night look. So I am going to use our primer instead of Vaseline, and I'm also going to apply a second layer of primer when we're finished, because they also used to use the Vaseline as a highlighter, which I find incredibly awesome. So let's go ahead and get our primer on.
Look, Mommy.
Okay, highlighting time. And with highlighting, she used to use the Vaseline. So I'm going to use primer again on the areas that we are going to highlight. And I'm mixing it on my hand so it goes on nice and smooth. And we're also going to go here around the lip so I can make my lip look poutier. Okay, so now that that has been applied, I am actually going to take a highlighter itself. Let me find my brush. Okay, now that that is applied, I'm going to go ahead and take my highlighter and put it in those areas. Okay, time for contouring. So, with her contour, temples and on the cheekbone, that's all she used. Isn't that amazing? So, let's go ahead and start. Okay, so creating her lashes, I'm going to use a 3-step process. And one thing that's very important is she didn't wear fake lashes all the way across her eyes. She only used them here at the tips to help give her eyes that nice, perfect shape. So I'm going to start with 3 process step. First, I'm just going to put on mascara regular, and then we are going to do the 3D Fiber Lash mascara on the ends just to give it a little bit more of that length. Okay, something else she loved was for her lids to glisten. So they applied a little bit of oil. I'm actually going to use an uplift serum oil, and I'm just going to use a very small drop. And this is just going to be on the outside, as you can see, very, very small. We'll use my finger just to get a little bit of it off and to dust it lightly on my lid because I don't want to transfer the color. Just applying the oil very lightly to the lid. Okay, so our last step is going to be that famous lip, gorgeous red lip. And the first step is going to be contouring. So I'm going to use a brown liner and contour my lips in, but I'm going to go outside of it just a little bit. And I'm going to go in with a darker color, more of a plum. Now a little bit of black. Next, let's go in with a red liner, and we're going to apply this all over. Now, some lipstick, and this is in Stinkin' Rich. Now obviously we need to blend this in, but you want to be careful that when you're blending it that you don't blend too much on the edges because you don't want to lose that dimension. So let's go ahead and start blending. Next we are going to add a little bit of highlight right in the center. And last, let's go ahead and shine it up a little bit with some gloss. There you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Bye for now.